Okay, so for this part of the question then, we're given this equation here and asked to make P the subject in this form. So how do we do it? Well, what I'd want to do is bring the natural log terms to the same side. It's easier to rearrange the equation when we do that. So I'm going to add 2 natural log of 9 to both sides, and I also noticed that 2 would be a common factor across those 3 terms. So I'm going to bring out the 2 in front of a square bracket here, so you can see we've got the natural log of p minus the natural log of 11 minus 2p, and then if I add that 2 natural log of 9 to both sides, we've just got the natural log of 9 there, and they're all multiplied by the 2. And it equals the t. Now I can use the natural log laws, or log laws anyway, to group these 3 terms inside the bracket up. So if I was to just look at this, we've got the natural log of p plus the natural log of 9. So that's going to be the natural log of 9p. And we're subtracting the natural log of 11 minus 2p, so that's going to be 9p then, all divided by 11 minus 2p. And we're multiplying all of this with this 2 here. Okay, so therefore we're going to have that. And then this is going to be equal to the t that we've got there. Okay, so what would we do next? Well, I'd divide both sides by this 2, and that would be t over 2 here. But I can see that we're going to get a half t, so I'm going to just call this a half t, and we end up with that line there. Now I'm going to anti-log both sides, that is get rid of this log here, and we should be familiar with this. This would be 9p all over 11 minus 2p would equal e to the power a half t. So we get that line. So what I'm going to do next is multiply both sides by 11 minus 2p. And also, if I do that, we're going to multiply it with that e to the half t. So what I'm going to get is therefore 9p would be equal to 11 times e to the half t and minus 2p times e to the power a half t. And if I add this term to both sides, okay, add 2p e to the half t to both sides, and pull out p as a common factor, what I'm going to get is p times the 9 here, and then plus the 2 times e to the half t. And that's going to be equal to the 11 e to the half t. So it looks like it's shaping up for what we have got to show over here. Because all I need to do now is just divide both sides by what we have in the bracket here. And if I do that, you're going to get this statement here. Okay? And now, all I need to do, I can see that I haven't got an e to the half t against this constant a, so it suggests that I should divide top and bottom by e to the power half t. And if I do that, what we're going to get then is therefore p is going to equal just the 11 on the top, and then I'm going to take this term here, divide that by e to the half t, and that's just going to leave me with the 2. And then I've got plus 9 all divided by e to the half t. Okay? But this is 9 times 1 over e to the power a half t, which is the same as saying 9 times e to the power minus a half t. So you should be able to see now that this is in the form that we've got here. And when I compare it, you can see that the A is the 11, B is the 2, and C is the 9. Okay, so hope you've been able to see your way through that one.